In this short video, I will show you how to complete the Practica Musica assignment, building key signatures, beginning with key signatures that contain sharps. So you'll open the program Practica Musica, then select the Exploring Theory course, select Chapter 6, Scales and Key Signatures, and then you'll want to select the activity module, Building Key Signatures, and click Open. Once the module is open, you will want to go up to the top menu bar and select Building Key Signatures and then select Sharp Signatures. As you've noticed from the lesson modules and videos, key signatures can only contain sharps or flats. You will never find a mixture of both. So for this example, you will only be building key signatures that use sharps. And the key to doing this correctly is to use your circle of fifths worksheet or chart that you printed or completed when you watched the instructional video for the beginning of the week. And you will want to make sure that you put the sharps, in this case, on the correct lines or spaces and in the correct order. This is where a lot of students get led astray, is they'll select the correct sharps, but they don't put them on the correct line space or in the correct order. So I'm going to show you how to do both of those in order to pass this activity module. So I had already started this module several weeks ago when I was working on the modules for class, and so the directions say that I need to build the appropriate key signature for the key of A major. So when you look at your circle of fifths chart and you find A major, you will notice there are three sharps: F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So the first thing I need to do is to come down, and I'm going to use my mouse to select the sharp sign, and then I'm going to come up to my treble clef staff, and the first thing I'm going to do is center my sharp sign using my mouse on the line F, the top line of the treble clef staff, and then I'm going to click. That leaves the sharp sign on the line for F. Then I'm going to come down to the space for C, and I'm going to click here to leave a sharp sign. And then finally I'm going to go up above my staff right in the space where the note G would be, and I'm going to click there to leave the sharp for G. So I have F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. They are on the correct lines and spaces, and they're in the correct order. So you'll notice it's like writing a sentence. You start from the left and you work your way towards the right. Once I've put the key signature on the treble clef staff, I need to select the box Check Answer. And luckily I got it correct. So now I can select New Question. In this example it says, please build the appropriate key signature for the key of D major. When I look at my circle of fifths chart, I notice that the key of D major has two sharps, F sharp and C sharp. So once again, looking at that chart, I know that the first sharp, F sharp, needs to go on the top line of the treble clef staff, and the C sharp needs to go in this third space. Once I've put the two sharps on the correct line and space, and I've got them in the correct order from left to right, I will select Check Answer. And now that I've got that one correct, I can select New Question. For this example, I'm going to show you what you would do if you mistakenly put the sharp sign in the wrong place. So I've been told to build the appropriate key signature for the key of G major, which is one sharp, F sharp. So I select the sharp sign, and I'm going to accidentally put it here, which happens with your mouse cursor. So I've put it in the space for E. In order to fix this, what I need to do is to come down and select the arrow key. Then I'm going to select the sharp, and then on my computer keyboard I'm going to select Delete. Now that I've erased that sharp sign, I can come back. I will select the sharp sign again, and I know that the sharp sign needs to go on the top line for F sharp, so I'll center the sharp sign on that line, and then I'll click my mouse, and now that it's in the correct spot, I can click Check Answer and then move on to New Question. For this example, it says, please build the appropriate key signature for the key of E major, which has four sharps. And by looking at my circle of fifths key signature chart, I know I need to have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. So I'll select the sharp sign. And again, I need to go from left to right. So I start with F sharp on the top line, then C sharp in the third space, then I move up to G sharp right above the staff, and then D sharp, which is the fourth line. And then I'll select check answer. Okay, so now that I know how to select the sharps, put them on the correct lines or spaces and in the correct order from left to right, and how to fix any mistakes that I might make, I would be able to complete this module. Make sure that you use your circle of fifths key signature chart, and remember two things. You need to put the sharp signs on the correct lines or spaces as you see them on the circle of fifths, and they need to be in the correct order from left to right. They cannot overlap. Think of it as writing a sentence. Good luck.